I don't have enough money to make this film.
Has the real life Henry seen this?
Great question.
Hey everyone, I am joined by the writer and director of Blue Suit, Kevin J. Nguyen, which we just released on the main channel.
Check it out and come back to watch the extended interview.
Like how much time had passed between that event that inspired this short, the writing phase, and then from that to, you know, going into production?
I think really like it happened and I was just like so up in arms about how everything had transpired. If you've fully watched Blue Suit, you know at the very end, John doesn't end up with Henry. And so very much in my own life, I don't end up with the real life Henry. And I had to take a little bit of time to kind of like sit with my feelings and be like, what is going on? What is my life? And I think when I realized like, you know, writing has always been this place, almost like therapy for me. And between the actual events happening to writing, I'd say like within the span of perhaps a year. And then from there, it took me a while to fully finish writing Blue Suit. It had many iterations, and it's because it just like was so deeply personal to me. And when I finally decided to actually go into production, I was like, well, now I don't have enough money to make this film. And so I actually did a whole Kickstarter for it. Thankfully, to all of our backers, we were able to get fully funded and then go into production probably within like 4 or 5 months after finishing writing the script to actually producing.
On that same note, I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts or hear your experience of going from that writing phase, taking something that is so personal and then flipping that switch and going into that director role. Like, you know, going through pre-production, I'm sure like in your personal life, you've had like growth during that time. So when you're looking at that script and then going into production, how much of that evolved?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like, you know, it's really true. Like it's almost like separate stories. You have your scripts, and then once you go into pre-production, it evolves, and then you go into production, and then post-production, it continually evolves. And I find that like what I have had on paper and what you see now in the finished product, it had so many different stages. And a lot of that changed because of the influence of like the team that I built around this script, and of course like the resourcing that we had. And I think I really do owe a lot to our incredible actors for breathing life into these characters. Because, you know, it's one thing to like visualize and allow yourself to dream as a writer, but then it's another to step into as a director onto set with actual humans who are saying the lines you wrote, but then adding nuance and yearning looks towards each other and like awkward silences. It like really fills the story in a way that like you can't possibly have fully written out on paper, right. You know?
This might be too personal of a question, but I'm curious if the real life Henry had any more influence on, yeah, the production process itself, or like, has the real life Henry seen this?
Well, great question. Till this day, the real life Henry hasn't been confirmed through my mouth that this film is about him.
Okay.
So he is unaware of it. However, he is aware of everything that has happened from the Kickstarter to the film being made. He doesn't know if the confirmed Henry is actually him. His name isn't even Henry in real life, so I changed it up there.
It's all coincidental, right? The disclaimer.
Yeah, coincidental, pretty fictional.
Right. And kind of going back to you were mentioning some of your previous work, and to kind of turn the clock back a little bit, we actually go way back. We were former housemates, and yes. You know, at the time I was just starting here at Wong Fu, and you were also adjacent at companies like Jubilee and Buzzfeed, and you were creating so much content with those companies. And also, you know, we found Olivia Liang for Dating After College. We found her through your content that you produced through BuzzFeed and Jubilee. So I wanted to kind of talk to you about that experience, you know, working for those companies and you know, developing as a filmmaker there as well?
Yeah. Well, first of all, in the years that we've lived together, I had no idea that that's how you discovered Olivia through my BuzzFeed video. But that's awesome. I'm so glad that like my BuzzFeed video was able to help you discover her. Yeah, my experience at Jubilee and Buzzfeed did a lot in order to kind of like form my voice and who I am as a creator and a storyteller. And, Jubilee was really special for me because they were the first to really allow me a space to kind of play with like film and allowed me to kind of understand story structure for the first time. And then from there, taking those experiences and then going to BuzzFeed on a really large scale, I was able to kind of just like understand how to craft stories that not only like spoke to a lot of people, but hopefully impacting people who I was trying to target. During my time at both Jubilee and BuzzFeed, really identity content is something that I hold near and dear to my heart. And I think that's very much so reflected into my voice as a filmmaker, being queer and Vietnamese American, that I was able to kind of allow myself to grow in those spaces and really continue to go on that trajectory after my time there.
Right. So your leads, Ivan and Andrew, they're terrific in Blue Suit. And so I wanted to ask you, like on that note, like what was the casting process like? Did Ivan and Andrew have any particular influence on the script itself? Did anything change with their involvement?
Yeah, I mean, for them, we casted them, and the moment that we casted them, I really wanted to like get their angle and their perspective on who these characters were. Obviously, as the writer and director, I had my own version of it. And sitting down one-on-one and talking with them, I was able to kind of discover some extra nuances, things that they brought to the table. I also kind of gave them a little bit of homework too, and I created these like Spotify playlists where I was just like, this is John's playlist because I like to call him a sad boy. He's just a sad boy all the time. He's very in his feels. And then this is Henry's playlist, and he's like this golden retriever type of character who like just loves to have a good time, but also has like moments where he can get vulnerable. And for both of these actors, they were able to really draw from their own experiences. And I think you had mentioned this earlier, that this story does feel relatable. Whether or not you are queer or Asian, I think we've all been in a situation similar to this. And I think them being able to draw from their experiences, we're able to kind of insert certain extra nuances and layers to the characters that we see on screen. So like even for example, like Ivan making some commentary on like what he thinks John would be wearing with the blue suit. It was kind of his decision and my own too in collaboration that it would be this blue suit and almost a little bit more informal, almost like a snazzier, more casual look, while also keeping the integrity of the blue suit itself. And Andrew also stepped in to share like some lines that he felt like for him rolled off the tongue more naturally when getting into Henry's mind. And all of these things obviously made it to the final product. So I think they were both very instrumental in just like taking the characters to the finish line. Got it.
And now that you've completed the festival run of this short, congratulations on that, by the way. And it's now here on YouTube for everybody to see. What do you hope that a viewer would take away from this short?
Honestly, I would love people to take away this message of, you're never going to stop growing, whether you're a kid, teenager, adult. And there are going to be moments in your life where you truly want something, whether it's connection or a job or opportunity. And there are times when life throws you a wrench and it doesn't happen. And I would hope that you can watch this and feel that you're not alone in your experiences when stuff like this happens. Allow yourself to have some compassion and feel the feelings that you're feeling. And then hopefully in hindsight, you're able to recognize that what you wanted isn't actually what you needed. And that's really what Blue Suit is, this intersection between what you want versus what you need. And at the very end, John realizes that he may have wanted Henry, but what he needed was closure.
That's such a beautiful message, and I think that's a great note to end on. Thank you so much, Kevin, for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you're working on now that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I'm writing a few films and a pilot. Always looking to connect with people and growing my communities. So if you want to just follow my journey in general, definitely check me out on Instagram. That's at KevinJWin_, and then Twitter at KevinJWin without an underscore.
Got it. We'll have all the links in the description below, and also shout outs to your crew pulling that all together. Thank you so much again, Kevin, and see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for supporting this short film. Wong Fu Presents is a way for us to support other filmmakers, so if you're interested in submitting your short film for consideration, be sure to check out the description below. And also, be sure to check out the other films in the Wong Fu Presents playlist. Hope you enjoy.